Hello students. Today we're going to be discussing ethics versus law, as well as student code of conduct for new students at Anderson University. So here's our agenda for the PowerPoint. Firstly, we'll distinguish between ethics and law. We'll define them both, their sources, why they matter, and everything to do with both of them. We'll then continue into exploring how they align with each other and how they intersect. This will include examples. Finally, we'll finish with the Student Code of Conduct, where 5 guiding principles for Anderson students with the meaning, importance, and practices of all these will be explained in detail. So firstly, we will discuss what makes ethics different from law. See, ethics are moral principles. These help us decide what's right and wrong, regardless of who's watching, who's there, what punishments there may be. This is what makes each human individual, and it's a combination of consciousness, cultural values, as well as in many cases faiths and beliefs. On the other hand, laws are formal rules created by courts, governments, and other legal entities. They are designed to set a minimum standard for society to ensure orderliness, fairness, protection of rights, so that every individual within the society may be able to be the most productive they can be and avoid any kind of harm or wrongdoing from the government or other citizens. The key distinction here between them is that ethics are a ceiling. They call humans to be the best they can be just for that exact reason, because we're all human. On the other hand, law is a floor. This is just to ensure basic compliance so that every citizen may have equal opportunities. We'll now move into examples of things that are legal but not necessarily ethical. And I've made these specifically for you guys since you're going to be new students here at Anderson, and I think these will be relatable. The first one is leaving food in a dorm space. See, most of you are going to be living in dorms with roommates and suite mates, and while it's not illegal, leaving things around and making the place dirty is a failure to respect not only your roommates but the community as a whole. Next is recording a roommate without telling them. I mean, this is legal in many states, but it's dishonest and it violates their trust and privacy, and it's just not the right thing to do. Furthermore, using AI tools to write assignments, it's not illegal, but it's going to break the academic honesty code, and it's just not the highest calling you can reach as a human and a student here at Anderson. Lastly is excluding a new classmate from a project. This isn't going to violate any laws, but again, it's not good for the community and it disrespects them as a person within the community. Now here we have some interesting examples of things that are ethical but might be against rules or policies at Anderson. The first being breaking quiet hours in the dorms for medical help or when a crisis occurs. This is the right thing to do, although it may be against the quiet hours rules. Another one is crossing the street against the light to help someone who's injured. This might break a traffic rule, but ethically it's the correct thing to do because that outweighs the rule of not crossing the road there. Finally, whistleblowing against misconduct. This might break organizational rules, but it upholds a higher responsibility of honesty and justice within the community we have here at Anderson. Okay, so now that we've defined both law and ethics, as well as examples of things that may be illegal but not ethical, as well as vice versa, we can move on to part 2, which is points of intersection between the law and ethics. See, many laws and ethics seem to overlap because many laws were built upon ethical principles that the government decided everyone needed to follow and many people would agree with. An example is anti-discrimination laws. See, this is built upon an ethical principle that every human has dignity and should be on the same playing field. So they created a law to reinforce this. Furthermore, privacy and consent laws. Every individual should be able to not be watched by others when they don't want to be. Academic integrity rules. See, this guy applies to you guys coming in as Anderson students. This reflects ethical values of fairness, honesty, and trust. Finally, safety regulations. These demonstrate the ethical principle of protecting vulnerability and promoting the common good within everyone of a community. In this case, it'd be here at Anderson University. In the final part of our discussion today, we'll be covering a student code of conduct that I've made tailored towards you guys as new students of Anderson. The 5 principles I've created are integrity and academic honesty, respect and dignity, responsibility and stewardship, compassion and service, as well as accountability and courage. So our first principle here is integrity and academic honesty. This means that students should commit to the truthfulness of their work, make it their own, because this is where students actually shine and can show themselves in their work and their beliefs and their creativity. It matters because it's the foundation of academic life. It's the foundation that goes so much farther than just academics. Examples of this are just submit your own original work, give credit, and if you're going to use AI and technology, just use it the most responsible way you can, not creating new content. Next, we'll move into respect and dignity. This just means that all students treat staff, teachers, as well as other students with the utmost respect and dignity. This helps build the most lively and just fair, orderly, and best community we can here at Anderson. And when people come to our campus, we want them leaving thinking, wow, every student I met there was just so respectful to me, because that's the way we want to live at Anderson. Next up, we have responsibility and stewardship. And these go together because responsibility means using your time, talents, resources, and other gifts given to you to do the right thing, whereas stewardship involves caring for the shared community resources we have here at Anderson. A good example of this is being prepared for classes, as that's responsible on your part, as well as respectable to the teacher, caring for shared campus property, maybe water fountains. I know I have to use those a lot when we go to workouts, as well as academic responsibility. This is going to be the best for you as well as your teacher and your friends, because if you can work together with all of them, then I promise you'll have the best experience you can here at Anderson. Principle 4, compassion and service, kind of goes along with stewardship as well as responsibility. But this is just where God is asking us to seek out the good in others as well as ourselves, being vulnerable and giving back to the community. An example of this is helping a peer in need, volunteering community service projects. We have lots of community service projects here at Anderson, and a few of them even get you extra credit in some of your classes. I know I had an opportunity last semester in Finance 310 to go in a local neighborhood and actually get some bonus points. So that's a lot of, and I think that reflects the community we have here at Anderson, because teachers are willing to give bonus points for your time, service, and compassion. Finally, we'll wrap up here with accountability and courage. This just means students will take responsibility for their own actions and have the courage to do what's right even when it's difficult. And I think that if students can uphold these 2 principles as well as the other 4 that we've talked about, that's going to leave not only guests but other students and teachers being proud of the community we have here at Anderson. If you see someone doing the wrong thing that you believe is wrong and they see you standing up for that, they're going to be proud of the community that they built here at Anderson, and I want all you guys to be able to do that. We'll now just quickly wrap up regarding everything we've discussed today, as well as what I want all you guys to do with this information. So we discussed today that law sets the floor for a society. It's the boundary that you can't go below, whereas ethics pushes humans to do the best they can because they think it's the right thing to do. We then discussed a student code of conduct I've created for you guys about integrity, responsibility, compassion, service, etc. These are all things that we want Anderson to be remembered as well as you guys as students. But I want to leave you with the message to strive not only to do the bare minimum, which is the law, but I want you to push yourselves to do the right thing. This is going to help build a community that's long-lasting, trustworthy, respectful, all the things that every university wants to be remembered for.